After a full day of snow, M&T Bank Stadium has been cleared and we're ready for football nearly 24 hours later. The two-seat Baltimore Ravens in that seat for the second year in a row. And this year they're taking on a bitter rival who they played back in 2017 in the playoffs. The Steelers won a chaotic game against Cincinnati last week to get into the playoffs. But now they've got to play the Baltimore Ravens, who have been a stout team all season long. Two rivals playing in the postseason, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, taking on Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a Monday edition of the AFC playoffs. You're watching the NFL on ASC. And here we go. Justin Tucker will kick this one away. And back in the end zone, this will be a touchback for the Steelers. Kenny Pickett, of course, played in that wild game last week on Sunday night, had a pretty good outing, ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown, but that was against the Cincinnati defense, whole nother beast here in Baltimore. Pickett had some decent stats throughout the season, but we'll see how this Pittsburgh offense, the worst out of the 14 postseason teams, does today as they come out to the 25. So the Ravens defense comes up big with the run stop on third down. Pittsburgh, the incomplete pass on third. And the field goal is up and good. So the Steelers are able to get 3 off their opening drive. A good start. Ravens will get the ball next. And we'll see what the Ravens decide to do. They'll take it out from about 2 yards deep in the end zone and out past the 20-yard line to the 23. And that's where we see the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson, led the Ravens to a 13-4 record. Very up and down season. Not a very good start to the season, but they got red hot at the right time, picked it up near the end, and he had an excellent season for the Ravens. He's in the running for MVP, his second this year. We'll see if he gets it later on, but for now, he's got to deal with the tough Steelers defense on this opening drive. First and goal from the 2-yard line. They put Edwards now in the backfield. Give it to him. Edwards fighting in. Touchdown, Baltimore. And the Ravens absolutely muscle on this Steelers defense. Their smallest play was 5 yards. They drive right down the field and punch it in. An excellent job by this Ravens team. Of course, their defense has been strong, but you can't forget about the weapons on offense. Of course, this 3 running back system has been very effective. Gus Edwards with yet another rushing touchdown inside 5 yards. Put him inside the 5, and he knows how to get in. Perfect drive led by number 8, Lamar Jackson. Here's the extra point by Justin Tucker, and this can make it a 7-3 game. So Pittsburgh, they do get 3, but the Ravens clap back and get 7 on their opening drive. 7-3. Ravens lead by 4 in the AFC Wildcard. First down and 15 now for the Steelers after delay a game. Pickett faked the Harris, gets hit, pulls out on the ground, and it's Roquan Smith who recovers the fumble. Patrick Queen knocked it out, and it's Roquan Smith, the former Bear, traded last season, who recovers this fumble. A great job. Patrick Queen's had a very quiet season. Had the most tackles a year ago, gets the sack there, and out comes Lamar Jackson in the offense to try and capitalize. So the Ravens on 2nd and 1, they will not elect to hike it, and they will take it to the second quarter. They've played strong, but we still have a long way to go. 7-3, Ravens on top against the Steelers. So now 3rd and 2. We'll see if Pittsburgh can stand strong again. Jackson looking, pressure coming, gets away, fights through the contact, extends for the touchdown. And they do get points off the turnover. Lamar Jackson runs it in for the touchdown, and the Ravens are an extra point away from making this an 11-point game early on. So elusive, so dangerous in the passing game and in the rushing game. Got pressure from T.J. Watt, rolled out and had to fight through the contact of Landon Roberts. And you see him just extend the ball across right there. He's in. A good job by Lamar Jackson. He's played the Steelers teams many times before, though he has never played them in the postseason. It was Big Ben versus Joe Flacco the last time these two met, and it was Pittsburgh who won in Pittsburgh. But the first game the Ravens have hosted Pittsburgh in their home stadium, and they currently lead 14-3. Now 2nd and goal from the 1. Can Pittsburgh punch it in this time? Here's a pitch to Harris, who hurdles for the touchdown. Untouched for Najee Harris. Had a touchdown last week against Cincinnati, and he has one right here to put the Steelers right back in the hunt. They had the fumble, of course, the field goal on the drive before that, but finally they punch in the end zone. Opening drives and touchdowns have not really worked well for Pittsburgh. Most of their points have came in the 2nd and the 4th quarter, so they know how to get it done right before the half or before the end of the game. It's Najee Harris who's able to punch it in right there. And they're an extra point away from cutting this down to a 4-point game. And we'll see if their defense can stop the Ravens' offense, who they've had nothing for. I mean, Baltimore drove on them on the opening drive. They're able to punch into the end zone after the turnover. So here's Boswell. Kick is up and through. It is 14-10. The Ravens have the advantage. It's now 2nd down and 1 from the 48. Justice Hill in the backfield. Keep. Jackson has a hole. Lamar Jackson inside the 30, bouncing off tacklers and wrapped up just shy of the 25. They're going to mark him at the 26 in a long run for Lamar, who puts the Ravens into field goal range and prime position for Justin Tucker. Is right here. The option for Justice Hill is so dangerous. You never know if Lamar is going to pull it and keep it, run it himself, or he's going to let one of the talented running backs do the work. 2nd down and 5. Dobbins in for Baltimore. Fake it to him. Jackson is pummeled from behind, and it's a sack for a loss of 7. Alex Highsmith, one of the 1-2 punch of this linebacker core, him and TJ Watt, so elusive off the edges. And right here, Highsmith had a wide open hole, just a bad block from one of the linemen, or that might have been Mark Andrews actually. But nonetheless, he was not picked up. He had a wide open lane, got Lamar Jackson for a big loss. Justin Tucker, one of the best in the league from 45, a chip shot for him, and he nails it. Not even close. It's 3 points, but it still makes it a 7-point advantage, 17-10 Ravens. 3rd down and 6. Pickett throws, caught, and in the backfield. And a good play by the Ravens to take it to the 2-minute warning, where they lead by 7 approaching the half. So here we go. This to end the half. Another chip shot, 33 yards. Justin Tucker makes it a 10-point game as we go to the intermission. The Ravens, they've been nearly unstoppable so far today. Pittsburgh has let them score on all 4 drives. And in total, they are down by 10. 20-10 is the score. Ravens leading at the break. As now we start the half with Baltimore at the 22-yard line. Fake it, and Jackson's hit hard, and down he goes. TJ Watt. He finally gets into the action. He had a quiet week against Cincinnati, but had 2 big-time sacks to end the game. He has his first of the game here to start the second half. And let's just see what happened here. Is TJ Watt so good at knowing how to get around these offensive linemen. He just flat out beat him to Lamar Jackson, and nothing stopping number 90 there. So interesting decision here. 4th and 1 for a conservative team. They're going to go for it. Pickett, fire move, ran backwards, and it gives Baltimore the ball. He tried to make a move to get around Roquan Smith. It did not work. He should have just fell down. That's all he had to do. But try to get too fancy with it. See, Freiermuth running backwards to try and make a move around Roquan Smith. It does not pay off. 3rd and 13 for Pittsburgh. Pickett on the move. Gets hit, the ball's out, and it's recovered, and it's again Roquan Smith. Johnny on the spot with 2 fumble recoveries. And who hit Kenny Pickett? And it looks like it's Owe who just had the tackle for loss on Jalen Warren. And Baltimore gets the ball. Out comes Bateman and Jackson in the offense. What a play by this Ravens defense. Can their offense capitalize? 3rd and goal. Jackson calling an audible to throw. Firing. It is caught for the touchdown. Rashad Bateman. And his good day continues. And they are now 2 for 2 off capitalizing on takeaways. Both were fumble recoveries. And it's Rashad Bateman on the quick slant for the touchdown. And now the Ravens can go out 27-10. crazy to say it, but just Pittsburgh's offense, they haven't been able to find the end zone, and that's been the difference in this game. And here's Justin Tucker for the extra point. Of course, turnovers have helped Baltimore, but still, I mean, they flat out driven down the field more, 27-10. So here's Pittsburgh. They're going to try and cut the lead back down to 14. Still a long way to go, but at least it's a starting point. That one nearly got blocked, but it's 27-13. Boswell's still able to hit it even with the pressure. Steelers down by 14 on the road. After the swirling winds and nearly 3-foot snow the stadium saw yesterday, this one's good for Justin Tucker, and it makes the lead 30-13. This is back to a 17-point advantage. So the Steelers, will see if they snap it. Doesn't look like they will. They will trail going into the fourth quarter, something they did not do last week in that chaotic game. We'll see if they have anything for Baltimore in the final 15 minutes here on Super Wildcard Weekend. 4th and 7. Pittsburgh needs to convert to stay alive. Pickett, it is caught by George Pickens. What a catch to move the chains. 4th and 4. They will not go for this one. They will send out Boswell, whose kick is through, and that one's good from 39. So the Steelers now trail 30-16. They still have a ways to go. Can they try and come back? So now the Ravens from the 3, 3rd and goal. Play action. The pass likely for the touchdown, and that's the dagger. A perfect play action bootleg from Jackson to find Isaiah Likely, who's had a quiet couple of weeks. Was one of Jackson's favorite targets there for a while. And this is just his 3rd catch of the afternoon, and it goes for a touchdown. And this to make it 37-16, and with 3 minutes to go, said it earlier, this is probably the dagger on a perfect afternoon for the Ravens. Could have been yesterday, but I think it's worth the one-day wait. And Warren will take it all the way down inside the 25, so a big play to take us to the 2-minute warning. 37-16 Ravens. 3rd and 6 from the 20. They at least want to end off with a score. Pickett to throw. Intercepted. They won't even get to do that. Stevens fights away from 2 tacklers and is finally wrapped up. That's the 3rd takeaway for this Ravens defense, who's played phenomenal all day long. They've only allowed 1 touchdown and 3 field goals, and the offense will take their knees and send this to next week. So for the 2nd year in a row, the Ravens dominate the 7th seed at home. They beat the Chargers 17-3 last year. They've taken down the Steelers 37-16 today, and they will host the Chiefs, who beat Houston on Monday night, right back here next week. They've played Kansas City twice before in the playoffs, the AFC Championship game in 2020, and then the wild card back in 2021 when they lost on the road. So they'll finally get an opportunity to host Kansas City. They've lost twice. We'll see maybe if home field advantage is the key. But for now, they get to celebrate a big win over their bitter rivals in the Steelers, a 21-point win. In fact, which is, I believe, the most the Ravens have scored, the largest margin victory the Ravens have had over a rival in sim history. But a big-time win for the Ravens. They will be advancing to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. (37-16). Kind of expected this would be the blowout game of round number 1, and it surely was the case. Ravens dominated on all fronts. Kenny Pickett threw 46 times and had 31 completions for over 300 yards, but had a pick. Harris just 16 rushing yards on 8 attempts. Lamar Jackson, though, played phenomenal. 8 incompletions, 244 through the air, 2 touchdowns, had a rushing touchdown. Dobbins, Edwards, and Hill all had big impacts, and Rashad Bateman had 54 yards and a touchdown. This is ASC signing off.